Hey, welcome. If you've ever dreamed of speaking another language, like really speaking it, but you always seem to get stuck, well, you've come to the right place. In this explainer, we're going to tear down the old rules and give you a modern, science-backed blueprint for actually mastering a language. We're talking about going from a silent learner to a confident speaker. Okay, let's dive right in with a question that, might hit a little too close to home for a lot of us. Have you ever been super excited? Downloaded a language app, used it for a couple of weeks, and then, poof, you just stop. Why does that happen to almost everyone?
I mean, that number is just staggering, right? A full 90%. So listen, if you've ever felt like you were the problem for quitting, I want you to let that go right now. It's not you. You are absolutely not alone. The problem isn't a lack of talent or willpower. It's that you've been using the wrong map, the wrong blueprint this entire time. All right, so let's get into what we're calling the fluency problem. This really gets to the heart of why that 90% number is so high. For decades, the way we've been taught languages has been, well, fundamentally backward. It's totally misaligned with how our brains are actually wired to learn. Okay, so here's the classic trap we've all fallen into. The old way shoves complex grammar drills and rules down your throat before you've even said hello. It makes you terrified of making a mistake. The new way completely flips that script. It's all about having real conversations from day one. It focuses on connecting with people, and it sees mistakes not as failures, but as the actual stepping stones to getting better. And you know what? The science totally backs this up. Just think about how every single one of us learned our first language. We didn't learn with flashcards and grammar tests, right? No, it was all about immersion, listening, copying, playing with sounds. Our brains are built for that active process. And the good news is, we can tap into that powerful system no matter how old we are. So, okay, if the old way is so broken, what's the fix? What's the better way? Well, it starts with a huge paradigm shift, a totally different way of thinking about the whole journey. It's a structured approach that the pros, the people who do this for a living, use to get results fast. And that brings us to the blueprint itself. It's built on 4 core principles. Let's call them pillars. I want you to think of these as the foundation of your new language learning house. This isn't just a list of random tips. It's a proven, systematic framework for building real-world skills in a way that's actually enjoyable. All right, let's break this framework down pillar by pillar. Together, these 4 cover every single thing you need for language acquisition, from input and output to vocabulary and, crucially, your mindset. Let's start with the first one. First up, pillar 1, daily immersion. This is all about what you're taking in. You have to train your ear. Just 15 to 30 minutes a day of listening to a podcast or music in your target language can make a massive difference. And here's a pro tip for you. It's a technique called shadowing. You just pause the audio and repeat what you heard, trying to mimic the accent and rhythm exactly. It literally trains your mouth to make the right sounds. Now, pillar 2, this one might be the single biggest mindset shift you need to make. You have to start speaking from day one. Seriously, don't wait until you're ready, because guess what? That day never really comes. Just learn a few key phrases and jump into a conversation. It's all about building confidence, and believe it or not, the grammar will start to make sense as you actually use the language. Think about it. A simple, open-ended question like, "What's your story?" is so incredibly powerful. It's not just some random phrase you memorized. It's a key. It's a key that unlocks a real human conversation. And that's something you can learn and use on your very first day. Okay, on to pillar 3. This is all about working smart, not hard, with your vocabulary. Forget about trying to memorize the entire dictionary. That's a surefire way to get overwhelmed. There's a much, much smarter approach. This right here, this is the 85-15 rule, and it is an absolute game changer. It turns out that in most languages, just about 1,000 core words make up a whopping 85% of all daily normal conversations. So by focusing your energy on just those words, you get conversational so much faster. It's the definition of smart learning. And that brings us to our final pillar, pillar 4, which is all about your mindset. This is the glue that holds everything else together. You have to give yourself permission to be a beginner. Ditch perfectionism. Start thinking of every mistake you make as a lesson. Find places to practice where you feel safe and supported. And always remember, consistency beats intensity. A little bit every day is way more powerful than a massive cram session once a week. So there you have it, the 4 pillars. But theory is one thing. What does this actually look like when people put it into practice? Let's talk about how this takes real learners from being silent listeners to confident speakers. Okay, check out this story. There was a learner in Bengaluru who was just too shy to say anything. But by applying these principles, by jumping into low-pressure conversations, they weren't just participating, they were leading English-speaking rooms in just 3 weeks. That's the kind of rapid progress we're talking about. And it's not just about social confidence, either. The impact can be huge for your career. Take this digital marketer from Karnataka. They used this exact conversation-first approach to get their English skills up to a professional level, and it directly led to a major career win, landing a remote job with a US company. Language skills open real-world doors.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually start? I get it. Theory is nothing without action. So let's get into it. Here's your simple 30-day action plan to get the ball rolling today.
It's a simple 4-step plan. First off, commit. Find a platform or a partner so you can have live conversations, and make it a daily thing. Second, just speak for 15 minutes. That's it. Use those core words and phrases we talked about. Third, track your wins. Seriously, get a journal and write down new words you learned or a conversation that went well. This builds incredible momentum. And finally, supplement your speaking with listening. Pair it with great, free resources to keep training your ear. So let's wrap this up by looking ahead. Forget the old rules. Forget the fear of messing up. Instead, I want you to picture yourself 30 days from now. Using this blueprint, who are you going to talk to? What stories are you going to share? What new connections will you make? The journey to fluency really does start with just one conversation. What will yours be?